And she'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, girl.
Who would you say is or maybe was your biggest rival?
Oh, wow.
What's up, viewers? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing a short interview from Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce, where she was asked who is her main rival in track and field, and ultimately many thought it was Elaine, and many were shocked when she did not say Elaine, which I'll be sharing that video shortly. But before we get into that, do me a favor by liking this video, and if you are new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. That way I'll get all the updates in track and field. So yeah, Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce will be running today at the Brussels Diamond League. Later on, we'll be providing all the updates on that. However, her press conference before that, which was yesterday, she was asked about her main rival in track and field, and this is what she had to say.
Who would you say is or maybe was your biggest rival?
Oh, wow. One of the competitors, I would say that really, like, when you go to a meet and their name is on the lineup with your name, be like, I would say Carmelita, you know, because she was just so fierce. You know, it didn't matter if I went in the race with the best time or I was the champion going in or how many medals she was coming, you know, and everybody knew when her technique was so solid. So for me, I had to make sure that I was technically sound with her. It was just her aura, you know, what she brought when I would sit at the line, I would watch her warm up and she'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, girl.
So if someone would have asked me, who is Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce's main rival in track and field, off the top of my head, ultimately I would say Elaine. But when I really look back, it would have been because of a recency bias. In the most recent time in track and field, Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce's recent rivalry came about with Elaine. And we saw them going head to head, especially in the 2021 season, and Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce continuing that momentum into the 2022 season, where she dominated that season. But in 2021, the rivalry was very intense and competitive. But when we really look back at it, and we go back just a few years back, and we take a look at the clips, Carmelita Jetta and Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce definitely had a really good rivalry going on. And when she named Carmelita Jetta, it's like ultimately the flashback came. And when I went to look up the videos as well, you could see the races. And I think it could also be based on age, because as we know, Carmelita Jetta is older than Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce. So Carmelita Jetta would have been on the circuit before Shelly. So she coming up, competing against someone that is older and faster. Your main aim is to take her down, basically. So what happened is we saw Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce lost a lot against Carmelita Jetta. She did. But after she started winning, she didn't stop. And yeah, the rivalry continued, and as I said, as she said that, the flashback came, and ultimately I understood why she named Carmelita Jetta. If Elaine was to be asked a question, she may have said Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce because of the age. I believe because now Elaine's coming up. Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce was on top, so her aim is to beat who is on top. So Shelly would be her rival to me. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comment section. Shelly-Ann and Fraser Pryce did answer more questions relating to her career and also opinions on her, especially after she got pregnant. And this is what she had to say.
I don't really care for the opinions of others, because I find that even when I had my son, when there were a lot of persons who thought that, you know, having a baby and coming back was not going to be good, or turning 30 and then 35, and, you know, a lot of opinions, but they're telling me I talk too much. Yeah. So, I mean, for me personally, I think over the years I've been able to really push the boundaries of what's possible, and really just from a mental standpoint, break barriers, because sometimes our minds can be barriers as well, where we limit ourselves to what we can achieve. So I'm grateful that I was able to do things on my own terms and really push the boundary of what's possible and doing more.
I think her drive and determination is unmatched, and that's why her longevity in this sport is so huge. Yeah, at 38, no one would have thought Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce would still be running and competing amongst the great and still winning races, dominating races just the same, and especially after having a child. So she's the pinnacle of the sport. She is the standard, basically. But yeah, feel free to leave y'all thoughts on this one in the comments. That's all for today. Her race is coming up later on today at the Brussels Diamond League. She'll be going up against Shakira Richardson and Melissa Jefferson. So we'll be sharing all the updates later on. Thank y'all for watching. Remember, if y'all want to stay updated this track and field season, especially with the World Championship coming up, please go ahead and subscribe. That way y'all don't miss out on any of the updates.